Okay, so yesterday when we were in town to see the architect, when we were driving back, I was noticing all these firework things. And it took me a while to remember, oh yes, it's the 4th of July that's coming up. And, so I remembered, having, what did you call it? Sparklers, yes, remember that when you were a kid? And doing that. And then I also remember, because I was a candy striper, the kids who do volunteer work in the hospital as a teenager. And I have so clear a memory of one little boy who got very severely burned on the 4th of July due to fireworks. Yeah. So it's a very interesting memory or association of 4th of July with all this excitement and then what can often come of it. And then it took me a while until we got the email this morning from Rabbi Michael Lerner about his ceremony for the 4th of July, which I didn't read the whole thing, but I skimmed it and it was very beautiful. And if people who are watching this want it, please, write to our office. We can forward it to you. But it's a lovely ceremony about really, there's a network for spiritual progressives, and and they're trying to formulate a way to really rejoice in the good things about this country without getting involved in the bitterness and acrimony that so much adorns our political situation right now. So it made me stop and really think about the things that I appreciate about this country. Because so much of my youth was about what I don't appreciate. Yeah. But, there's really many things to appreciate. And especially the ideals with which this country was founded are really very wonderful ideals. And I remember learning them as a kid. And as a kid, when you're really young, and I learned these ideals, I thought that this was actually practiced in the country, And so I was surprised when I grew up and as a teenager and later found out, oh, these are only ideals and what people are doing is something different. And that was very, very disturbing to my mind. Of course, now as a Buddhist practitioner, I see, well, I have many ideals too of the way I want to be and to become a bodhisattva, but I sure don't live them in my day-to-day life. So now I can see that, yeah, there's virtue to having ideals, even if you can't fulfill them. But what we don't want to get into is the kind of cynicism or negativity or discouragement of looking at that situation, either when we see it in ourselves or when we see it in others. But instead to focus on the ideals and to really think, okay, how can I as an individual contribute to them, and how can I encourage other people to do so as well, to bring that about. And in that way to maintain a positive, upbeat attitude. Because cynicism doesn't get us anywhere, does it? And we all kind of go through that sometime in our life of being cynical and then discouraged and pessimistic, and it's a horrible attitude, and you can't live your life in a good way with it, and it doesn't do any good. And it's also not realistic because it's not seeing all the good things that are going on, So we have to be able to hold the ideals and really go towards them and see the good things that are happening and not whitewash the other stuff and do things to counteract it. So may the 4th of July remind us of that.